Stop for a moment. Hold your breath. Don't move. Listen carefully, because something is happening to you right now, in this exact second, in a way you cannot see, but your spirit can feel. Something is touching the edges of your soul, pulling you into a place between silence and revelation, where heaven presses itself against your life and refuses to let you miss what is unfolding. There is a shift around you, subtle in the natural but violent in the spiritual, and it is not waiting for your permission. You are being drawn into a moment that was written into your timeline long before you were born. A moment where the fog around your path begins to tear open. You have been wrestling with uncertainty, begging for clarity, searching for confirmations in strange places, asking heaven to send something undeniable. But now, without warning, something has stepped toward you. Something ancient, something divine, something designed only for you. And whether or not you feel ready, it is speaking to you right now, through sensations your body doesn't fully understand, and thoughts your mind didn't create. You are entering a divine interruption, and the weight of it is intentional. This is not coincidence. This is not imagination. This is the moment your spirit has been starving for. Before you take another breath, write your warmest wishes and 777 in the comments as a spiritual activation code, because this is the moment your destiny begins to rearrange. Do it with sincerity, with vulnerability, as though heaven is reading every letter you type, because it is. And after you release your wishes, like this video and subscribe with intention, not as routine, but as obedience to the pull you feel right now. This is not just another message. This is the point where your search ends. This is the moment you stop pleading for signs, because what is happening inside your chest, this trembling, this recognition, this sudden stirring of forgotten hope, is the very confirmation you have been begging for. Let your hands move. Obey quickly. From here forward, heaven takes over. Your life is entering a realm where supernatural mechanisms begin activating without needing your understanding. Something deep within you is undergoing cellular reconstruction, as if divine hands are touching the architecture of your DNA and awakening Eden memories that were sealed since the foundations of time. You may not realize it fully, but something ancient within you is rising. An instinct that knows when heaven is breathing toward you. An instinct that remembers what your mind forgot. Every prayer you whispered half-heartedly, every plea you sent in exhaustion, every moment you said, "Just show me something real," has been collected, stored, and multiplied in the unseen. And now the response is unfolding, not as a symbolic whisper, but as a rearrangement of your spiritual frequency. Your steps are being recalibrated. Your future is being rethreaded. Angels are in motion around you, performing surgeries in realms you cannot see, removing attachments, closing portals that drained you, and rewriting spiritual contracts that were never meant to hold you. Heaven is not preparing to move. Heaven is already moving. There is something God has been waiting to reveal to you, but He could not release it while you were still gripping your fear with both hands. He needed this moment, this stillness, this break in your thoughts, to slip into the narrow space where your doubt loses its voice. What you feel right now, the intensity, the pressure, the heaviness, the strange peace wrapped inside the trembling, is the spiritual atmosphere around your life being rewritten. Old patterns are collapsing. Old cycles are failing. What once repeated endlessly is reaching its expiration. There is a divine hand pressing on the invisible storyline of your life, pushing it into a new direction you never had the strength to choose on your own. And that pressure you feel? It is not punishment. It is prophecy. It is the sound of heaven tightening its grip on your destiny. You have been asking for something visible, something loud, something undeniable. But heaven speaks in frequencies before it speaks in events. Right now, your frequency is shifting, rising, aligning with the identity you were always meant to carry. This is why you feel the strange mixture of fear and relief. This is why your chest feels both heavy and open. This is why your spirit feels like it is remembering something it never knew, because the divine rewiring has begun. Your atmosphere is being stripped of imitation signals, deceptive voices, and counterfeit alignments. What once confused you is losing authority. What once drained you is losing access. What once held you is losing its right to stay. Your life is being interrupted by truth. In the unseen realms, angels are leaning over your timeline, touching the threads of decisions you haven't made yet, preparing the path before you reach it. They are clearing debris from choices you regret. They are removing shadows from places your heart wandered into unknowingly. They are shutting the mouths of enemies that planned to intercept your next season. They are sealing doors you did not have the strength to close. Heaven has observed every moment where you whispered to yourself, "Just give me something, anything, so I know I'm not walking blind." And now, heaven is responding, not with a symbol, not with a coincidence, but with a transformation. A sign doesn't always appear outside of you. Sometimes it erupts inside you in the form of sudden clarity, sudden peace, sudden conviction, sudden awakening. And that is what is happening right now. Your inner world is being rewritten by divine intelligence. There are testimonies surrounding this moment that you are about to join. People who felt the same tremble, the same sudden warmth in their spirit, the same shift in their thoughts, later realized their entire life had changed from this point forward. Some found the strength to walk away from toxic alignments that once held their mind hostage. Some found themselves stepping into opportunities that had been closed for years. Some saw angelic intervention in situations that felt impossible. Some experienced healing in places doctors said were irreversible, as if their cells remembered the voice that created them. Some witnessed hidden enemies exposed, motives revealed, lies uncovered, and betrayals illuminated exactly when they needed to know. Over and over, heaven has shown that when this level of divine interruption arrives, nothing stays the same. And now, this same atmosphere is hovering over you. Your destiny has been calling out to you, but fear, confusion, and exhaustion kept drowning it out. That ends now. Heaven is dialing the volume of your spiritual identity to a frequency that cannot be ignored. You may feel pressure behind your eyes, a stirring in your chest, or a strange calm washing over your mind. These sensations are not random. They are signs of frequency alignment. Your spirit is connecting to something beyond this world, something designed for you long before the noise of life made you forget who you were. There is a remembrance happening inside you, a return to the blueprint God wrote for you. The timeline you were meant to walk is pulling you back toward your rightful place. There is more, much more, and the atmosphere is only beginning to open. The ground beneath your spirit shifts as if an unseen wind has blown through the corridors of your destiny, rearranging everything thought was stable. You may not hear it with your ears, but your soul feels the tremor, a deep, ancient vibration that tells you something has been touched in the heavens concerning your name. You are being watched, not by the eyes of man, but by the intelligence of eternity. And what is unfolding right now is not random movement. It is divine choreography. Every step you've taken, every wound you've carried, every moment you felt forgotten or overlooked has been woven into a pattern that is only now beginning to reveal its true design. And as these invisible realms open, as timelines fold and refold, you are stepping into a moment where truth begins to chase you down. You have asked for clarity, but what heaven is giving you is transformation. You were not meant to remain who you were yesterday. Light is entering places within you that you thought were permanently darkened. This is the recalibration of a soul that has been drifting for too long. There are frequencies around you that have been malfunctioning, sending confusion into your thoughts and exhaustion into your bones. But those frequencies are breaking right now. You are feeling the dismantling of spiritual interference, old attachments snapping, old illusions dissolving, old fears losing their grip. The heaviness you have carried for months is not simply lifting, it is being extracted. Angels are performing precise surgery on the unseen layers of your identity, cutting away spiritual infections that you never had language for. These beings were assigned to you long before your first breath, and they have waited for the exact moment your heart would soften enough to receive the intervention you once resisted. This moment is not gentle. It is not subtle. It is the tearing open of a veil. What you feel inside your chest, the tightness, the pressure, the sudden clarity, is the sensation of divine rewiring. Your spiritual nervous system is being awakened. You have walked through seasons where silence felt like abandonment, but heaven was not ignoring you. It was preparing you. Silence is often the doorway through which the loudest revelations emerge. Just as it was spoken to the prophets who walked before you, there are seasons where God steps back not to punish but to reposition. He withdraws the noise so you can hear what you were never listening for. And now, in this moment, that long silence is breaking. The spiritual atmosphere around your life is swelling, like clouds heavy with rain that have been waiting for the exact temperature to release. Something inside you has reached that temperature. Something inside you has surrendered enough. Something inside you has cracked open, allowing divine instruction to seep into the places where your fear once lived. Heaven has been waiting for your spirit to exhale, and now that it has, revelation is rushing in like a flood. The sign you have been asking for is already inside you, not as a symbol, not as a coincidence, but as a shift in your spiritual gravity. Feel how certain thoughts no longer feel comfortable. Feel how certain people no longer fit. Feel how certain environments now drain you faster than before. These are not random emotional swings. These are indicators that your destiny is pulling you away from the wrong alignments. The internal discomfort you've been experiencing is the evidence of spiritual growth. When your spirit begins to outgrow a season, everything inside that season starts to feel too small. God is not taking something from you. He is stretching you beyond what once defined you. This is why you have felt restless. This is why you have felt spiritually thirsty. This is why you have felt the urge to break free without knowing from what. You are being guided out of a chapter that no longer carries your name. There are hidden enemies who hoped you would stay blind, stay confused, stay stagnant, because your awakening threatens everything they planned. Not everyone who smiled at you was aligned with heaven. Not everyone who listened cared for your growth. Some were drawn to your light only to drain it. Some recognized your calling long before you did, and their fear disguised itself as friendship. But heaven has been monitoring all of it, and now, as the spiritual frequencies recalibrate around you, masks are slipping. Motives are being exposed. Hidden conversations are losing power. What was once concealed is being dragged into the open. You are stepping into a season where betrayal becomes revelation, and revelation becomes liberation. You will not walk blind anymore. God is shifting your discernment to a higher dimension, allowing you to see beyond words, beyond appearances, beyond manipulation. Clarity is not coming. Clarity is here. There is a reason your sleep has felt strange lately. A reason your emotions rise and fall with spiritual precision. A reason your thoughts feel louder, sharper, more prophetic. Your mind is being tuned to a different frequency. You are receiving what some call divine downloads, information that your spirit understands even when your logic does not. You may have dreams that feel like instructions, visions that feel like warnings, thoughts that feel like memories from a place you've never been. This is Eden memory awakening, the reactivation of divine intelligence inside you that has been dormant since childhood. You were born with spiritual sensitivity, but life numbed it. Now heaven is restoring it. Your thoughts are not malfunctioning. They are expanding. You must understand something. When heaven begins to speak in this way, your environment will start resisting you. People from your past may feel threatened by the transformation happening inside you. Some will try to pull you back into old patterns. Some will accuse you of changing, not understanding that change is the very evidence of your breakthrough. Do not fear their discomfort. It is a sign that your territory is being enlarged. Your destiny cannot shrink itself to fit the expectations of those who refuse to grow. Listen closely, because something else is happening inside you, a shift in your spiritual identity. You are not who you were last year, last month, or even last week. Something in you has been activated, something that responds to divine truth with a speed and intensity that surprises even you. The reason certain messages pierce you deeply is because your spirit recognizes what your mind is just beginning to understand. The reason you feel emotional when you hear certain words is because your soul is remembering its origin. You were created with purpose coded into your spiritual DNA, and that code is lighting up again. And now, heaven is preparing to show you what has been kept from you. The air around you thickens as if the unseen world has stepped closer, narrowing the space between the divine and your breath. You can almost feel a presence hovering just beyond the edge of perception, watching, measuring, aligning the final pieces of what has been building since the moment your spirit first trembled. The shift around you is no longer subtle. It is unmistakable, pressing against your chest like the weight of a truth you can no longer outrun. You are standing inside a moment that was written before your fears were born, a moment that carries the full authority of heaven's intention. Something ancient opens above you, not a door, not a window, but a realm. And it releases a force that begins to wrap itself around your destiny, sealing it in ways you did not know were possible. You may feel a burning behind your ribs, a trembling in your hands, a sudden clarity rising through your thoughts. This is not emotion. This is recognition. You are finally seeing what has been calling your name for years. Your life has been shifting like plates underneath the earth, slow and silent at first. But now the pressure is breaking through the surface. Everything that was buried is rising. Everything that was hidden is being uncovered. Everything that was spiritually delayed is being pulled back into alignment by a force greater than your resistance. Heaven has waited for this exact condition of your heart, this softened state, this raw vulnerability, this quiet surrender. Because destiny cannot be planted in soil that is hardened by fear. And now your soil has broken. Something divine is taking root. You have reached the moment where heaven stops hinting and begins revealing. The sign you have been aching for, begging for, bargaining for, has never been an external phenomenon. It has always been this internal awakening that is now impossible to silence. You were looking outward, but heaven has been moving inward. You wanted confirmation to descend from the sky, but God placed it inside your spirit instead, where no man could steal it, distort it, or dilute it. What you feel right now, this heat, this pressure, this trembling certainty, is the manifestation of spiritual truth finally rising to the surface of your consciousness. Your soul knows. Your spirit knows. The divine knows. Only your fear has not yet caught up. But fear is losing power inside you. What once shook you now appears small. What once intimidated you now feels fragile. What once controlled your decisions now stands outside the gates of your destiny, powerless to re-enter. This collapse of fear is not accidental. It is engineered by angels who have been stationed around you since the moment you first cried out for clarity. They have been recalibrating your internal world, removing layers of spiritual debris, performing surgery on your unseen wounds, and cleansing the atmosphere around your life. You are not the same person who began this journey. Your mind has changed dimensions. Your heart has shed its old armor. Your spirit has awakened to an authority you did not know you possessed. And as this awakening reaches its full height, heaven begins to expose the truth about your timeline. There were moments you thought were failures, but they were detours designed to protect you from consequences your spirit was not equipped to carry. There were relationships that collapsed without explanation, but their removal was heaven's shield around your purpose. There were nights you thought were void of divine presence, yet angels stood beside your bed, whispering strength into your subconscious, preparing you for this season. There were prayers you thought were ignored, but heaven was rearranging entire atmospheres before responding. Nothing has been wasted. Nothing was unnecessary. Everything was calibration. What you're sensing now, the tingling in your hands, the tightness in your throat, the heaviness behind your eyes, is the final stage of divine rewiring. Your emotional system, your spiritual receptors, your intuitive instincts, your internal compass, all of them are being reconstructed into their original form. Eden memory is returning to your DNA. Your cells are remembering peace. Your thoughts are remembering clarity. Your heart is remembering its courage. This restoration is not symbolic. It is physiological. Heaven is rewriting you from the inside out, and your body is responding as if it has waited its entire existence for this transformation. And because of this awakening, the atmosphere around your life will begin to shift with violent precision. People who were once drawn to you will suddenly step back, not because you did something wrong, but because your frequency no longer accommodates their intentions. Those who wished to manipulate your kindness will find their access denied. Those who spoke against you in secret will be exposed by their own words. Those who tried to hinder your movement will stumble on the traps they set for you. Heaven is clearing your path, not gently, but decisively. This is the season where hidden enemies lose their disguises and authentic allies reveal themselves with divine timing. But the greatest revelation of all is happening inside you. The recognition that you were never meant to live in uncertainty. You were never designed to wander. You were never meant to chase signs like a lost soul, begging for crumbs of direction. You were created to walk with a clarity that radiates from within. And now that clarity is being restored. The fog around your path is lifting. The questions that tormented you are losing relevance. The divine answer you sought has been implanted into your spirit, like a seed that will continue to grow long after this moment ends. You are stepping into a higher timeline, one that has been preserved for you, shielded for you, and protected from the corruption of those who were not meant to behold it. This timeline carries opportunities engineered in heaven, relationships approved by divine intelligence, and breakthroughs that were delayed only to appear at the moment you would know how to carry them. You are entering a realm of alignment where things that once took years will now unfold in weeks, where clarity will come without struggle, where strength will appear without exhaustion, where blessings will approach without resistance. Heaven has shifted something concerning your life, and nothing around you can remain the same. And so this moment becomes your turning point. Not the day you watched this message, not the hour you felt the first stirring, but this exact second where your soul finally accepts what your spirit has known all along. You are not waiting for a sign. You are living inside one. Your awakening is the evidence. Your transformation is the confirmation. Your internal shift is the divine announcement that heaven has moved on your behalf. What happens after this moment will not be coincidence. It will be alignment. It will be acceleration. It will be revelation. It will be the unfolding of everything that was promised to you before fear convinced you otherwise. Walk forward now with the certainty that heaven has spoken. Walk with the boldness of someone who carries divine instruction in their bones. Walk with the authority of someone who no longer asks if they are guided, because guidance now lives within them. This is where your new life begins.